Oh my, what? What is that? Oh my, ah! Hey everybody, it's Ozone. We're back here in the world of Vintage Story in my little dirt house. I've been playing this game an awful lot and I am really excited for what I'm going to attempt to do today. Guess what? It's time to try to make it into the Copper Age. Oh, I am really excited because so far I've not had any pick and I've not been able to do any mining. That's because you need copper in order to make your first pickaxe. And that's a chore, let me tell you. There's a lot of steps to it. But I've been preparing and I've got a plan and I'm really excited to get started on it. So first, let me show you what I've done in between episodes. First of all, do you like my floor? Yeah, I spent some time and some clay in order to make mud bricks because the fire pits that I keep putting over here keep catching the grass on fire. And I don't really like the fact that grass is growing in my little house. So overall, I think it's looking pretty good. I've got quite a bit of supplies and I've been doing a lot of prepping to try to get ready for this. First off, I've made molds that I'm going to need. So I made these out of pottery and I've already fired them. We've got a pickaxe head mold and a hammer mold, both of which are necessary in order to fully refine copper that you dig out of the ground. And since you need a pickaxe to dig things out of the ground, the big question is, how do you get copper in the first place? And well, I did find some. There are nuggets that exist on the surface, and when they do, it's supposed to be an indication of copper deeper underground that you can mine up. And at one point, I found some copper. I've got one lonely nugget of copper here that I found basically right outside my base. But in all the searching I've done so far, I've not found any more copper. And so I think that there's a better way. Or at least according to the Let's Play that I've been watching, which by the way is Radamant. I didn't say that right in the first episode. You need to go to a gravel field and look for the stones there because there's a lot less vegetation growing on the ground in a gravel field. Now, when I'm looking at my map, it's really hard to tell what is what. Basically, it's a lot of orange. But this area up here is less orange. Is less orange, and I think that's either a sand or gravel field, and so that's the target. It is rather far away, and so I'm going to try to set up a base of operations over here, a little outpost if you will, and I've prepared some things in order to take with me to make that easier. One of the things that I've got right here is a cooking pot with 6 servings of hearty red wine cap stew. So if I take this whole pot and 1 bowl, I can get 6 bowls of stew out of this. So that's, I think that's going to last me a good bit of time. I've also got another pot over here with a couple servings of porridge. And I'm going to take a bed so that I can get things situated up there. But I'm going to travel pretty light so that I can come back and hopefully we'll be able to find all that copper just on the surface. Now, there is another way. If you don't find it on the surface, you can pan for it. You know, like panning for gold. But that also requires gravel and sand, of which there really isn't any in this area. So that's another reason why I need to go up here to this gravelly fields, or, well, what I think is a gravel fields. But it's currently the middle of the night, and as soon as that daylight breaks, I want to get going. So let me get everything together, hit the sack, and we'll hit the road. Oh, before we go, I need to make some armor. Yeah, I was really surprised. I can actually have armor. If we look at the handbook, there is improvised body armor made out of wood. It just takes a knife, some dry grass, and a lot of logs, and you get some improvised armor. So basically, you're just strapping some logs to your body, and, well, I mean, it's still armor. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's get that done. Some grass, and I really like how the knife itself is part of the crafting ingredients. Let's see, I think it was like logs around here like that and the grass in the middle. Is that right? Yeah. So the knife itself is part of the crafting, and I think it takes durability damage whenever something like this is part of the crafting. It's just a really interesting way of incorporating it, and it adds a lot more possibilities, I guess. But there we go. Now let's see. How do I put that on? I think I just put that on like that. Yeah. Ooh. I'm looking very green indeed, but I will gladly have the extra protection. And unfortunately, this is about the only thing I can make. There is actually a shield, but it needs bamboo, and I haven't seen any bamboo at all. Well, anyway, looks like it's getting to be light outside. Let's head out and hit the old road. Oh, by the way, yeah, look at all these bushes. These are all currant and cranberry bushes that I've planted around my house. These are going to be an amazing source of food once they actually ripen, you know? So I'm really glad that I've been collecting these things. And yeah, I've even found some medium fertility soil and put it on that so that they'll grow a little faster. I am going to button up the house and close it up just like that. Because something else that I found out is that food saves better if it's fully enclosed like this. It's technically, it's considered a cellar, even though it's above ground. There's no access to the air. So all my food will save a little better just by doing that. Anyway, we got to get going in this direction. And of course, I'll forage what I can along the way. Let's go! Oh, this was my brilliant idea at a trap. It's not done anything at all. It has not done anything at all. So I guess it didn't work out so well. Yum! More berries. It looks like we are here. And yes, this is gravel. This is andesite gravel. You can see that there's definitely a lot less vegetation on the gravel. So that part is correct. It's going to be a lot easier to see the individual loose stones, because that's what we're after. Basically, just like the flint, some of the stones that show up on the surface are going to be different kinds of materials. So these just say andesite stones. But so hopefully at some point, some of them will have copper. That's what we're looking for. Well, first order of business is to find a place to stay. And I think I like being down here close to the water so that we have some additional resources. And boy, it sure looks like there is a lot of life in the area. So I think right up against this hill, let me build a nice dirt house, and we'll come back once that's done. There we go. We're looking pretty good. Actually, let's empty the old inventory, and then it will be looking really good. We'll put some storage up over here, and put my cooking pot over here. And yeah, you know what? I think it's time to get some stew. Yum, 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 yum. Well, maybe this won't last as long as I thought it was. I've already gone through 2 helpings of stew. But the day is bright, and we have a lot of time to run around and go pick up stones in this gravel and sand area. Now, I'm going to pick up every single stone because it's really hard to tell the difference from one kind of stone to another, or at least to me, to my untrained eye. So, for instance, I can see these stones a lot easier from across the way. But look at the difference. This is flint. It's got a little bit of a discolored stone paired with an andesite stone. And then these are andesite stones, and they are just 2 of the same colored andesite. So finding something that has a different color, ever so slightly like that, can be really challenging if you're not used to it. I can't pick up these guys. These are the boulders. But I'm going to pick up all of the other stones. Now, I don't really care about the andesite stones, but it at least helps me to know whether I've been into an area before, if there's still stones laying around. So I'm just going to start picking up everything and hoping that I get some copper from one of these places. According to people on Discord and the other parts... wait a minute. Now see, I picked up some quartz. I didn't even notice that I picked up some quartz. So this is why I'm picking up everything. But according to everything I've been able to read, this is the recommended way of doing it. This is going to be the easiest way to find some copper. Clear quartz and quartz chunk. Well, lots of picking up to do, so I'll come back when I find something, I hope. Here is some quartz that I managed to look at beforehand. It looks like andesite, but it's got more white in the middle of it right here. It's hard. See, that's flint, but I have yet to find any copper. And again, just reiterating, this is why I'm picking up absolutely everything. Now this is interesting. I don't know what that is, but we have some naturally formed mineral up here. That is, oh, quartz. Nice big vein of quartz. Definitely going to be marking that on the map right here. Seriously, game? Seriously? You have to go and put a frickin' spawner right next to my house? Oh my gosh. This is going to be a rough night. So I'm going to try the old lighting up the area again trick, and hopefully we're not going to have any problems tonight. Put enough torches down. Time to get buttoned up and hit the sack, I think. Well, my adventures outside were not so successful, honestly. I did get quite a bit of quartz. Some 28 bits, though honestly at this point I have no idea what quartz is used for. I picked up over 80 rocks, got regular andesite rocks, and found no copper. No copper at all. I'll try again tomorrow. Well, I didn't know this was a thing. It says not tired enough to sleep. And it's clearly still nighttime. So I guess I gotta listen to that thing for a little while longer. But I'm not hearing any growling, so I guess that's a good sign. Weird. I just want it to be over with. And want it to be morning so that I can go back outside. Oh, I also don't like that. You see the spinning gear down here in the middle? The bar has gone down. That means I'm kind of going insane because I'm so close to the temporal rift. I don't like that at all. And I don't really see that I have much choice and can do anything about it right now. I really don't think I can leave, quite honestly. But yeah, I guess that's something else I have to deal with too. This might be a bad idea, but I'm getting away from that. It does seem like it's close to morning, so that's good. And there's another one of those rifts right there. And is that another one right there too? Goodness. I think I'll go out into the woods out here and try to build another little house real quick for the rest of the day. Although, we're close to being day, really. I don't like the sound of it regardless. Yep, this is my life now. This is my life now. On the plus side, it looks like the gear is filling up. Looks like I'm not quite as insane as I was before, although the gear is still moving. But yeah, that's at least a plus. Ah, I'm glad that wasn't really anything big. It looks like it's time for more stone grabbing, and yep, it looks like it's time for another day of searching for stones. And eating. Always eating. And yes, while it is fairly clear on the surface here in these gravel fields, it's also not the easiest terrain to cover. It's fairly hilly. But I guess that's still a better start than dealing with all the grass. And just being able to see the stones in the first place is going to still be a big help. Well, let's hope day 2 yields some copper. Let's go. Well, well, well. Look, we got some copper right here. Unfortunately, it's in the ground, and I can't do anything about it. But if there's copper in the ground, there should be some copper, like, on the surface? Maybe? I mean, there doesn't have to be, but it's a strong indicator if you find it on the surface. So I'm hoping it's the other way around, that finding the exposed vein will lead me to some loose copper on the surface. But I don't see any loose stones on the surface here. Yeah, I am absolutely going to mark this, but unfortunately, it really doesn't help the copper situation that we're in right now. I've still got to find the loose stuff on the surface before I can even begin to go after the stuff that's in the rocks. Here we go. I finally see it. It's copper bits. Oh, It's not very many. It's only 2. And I don't really see any of the others around, but at least it's something. This is turning out to be a much more difficult search than I had expected. Where's that other copper vein that I found? Does this happen to be right on top of the other exposed copper vein that I found? I think I lost it on my map. I don't see it. Oh, no, it's over here. It's over here. Well, okay. But it's still only 2 bits, which is still a long way from where we need to go. Well, day 2 summary yielded a little bit more quartz, a whole lot of flint, I've really gotten a lot of it, and another 90-ish andesite stones. I also picked up some pine logs, because it seems like I'm going to have to do some panning. But at least it looks like we got a quiet night ahead of us, and I'm going to continue to work. I did get 2 little ingots of copper, and that was it. Only the 2. Yep, it seems like panning is going to have to be how I get the rest. So in order to make that panning pan, we need to take a log and put the knife to the right of it, and we have a wooden pan. And this is really interesting. I'm going to go ahead and do that, but we can also take other logs and put the knife in other places too. Like if the knife above turns it into a wooden club. Well, I guess that's all we can do with the log. We got a club or we got the pan. But again, it's a pretty interesting mechanic for how to apply durability to your tools and yet involve your tools in the crafting of stuff. In Minecraft, you have the right-click option for a shovel that makes a path or an axe that strips the bark. But I think that's about it. I guess hoeing. But that's really it. You have the right-click action. By incorporating the tool into your crafting grid, you have a lot more possibilities, which is rather neat. But anyway, I've got a pan, and I guess that's the main task for tomorrow. Well, it's the start of a new day, and it's time to get to panning. I went ahead and opened to the water because you need water in order to pan, but you also need gravel, and so we've got to go collect some gravel or sand. And I think I'm going to go up here and collect this gravel rather than that sand down there. So yes, let's pick up some gravel and then start doing some panning. Well, I broke my shovel, so I guess that's all I'm going to do for right now. So to do the panning, you have to be in the water. You have to put the gravel down and then right-click it with your pan. And you see it took off 1/8 of a layer. And now you do that and put it into the water, and things disappear. Well, the gravel disappears, and sometimes you get things that go into your inventory. I'm going to clean out my inventory right here so that we have... Oh, hey, I got a bit of copper. So, yay! You can get more than just copper. You can get quartz. You can get other minerals. You can get flint, too. And, of course, you can get nothing. But it's a pretty tedious process with a not very good success rate, honestly. But it seems like the only way I'm going to get the copper that I need in order to actually get into the copper age and get it smelted down. I need a total of 40. There, I just got a stone. Another andesite stone that I have hundreds of right now. But anyway, you need 40 bits of native copper. And, well, I just got one from that one block of gravel. So I guess... Oh, there's another one. So I guess maybe I need 40 blocks of gravel? I don't know. This seems to be my day. So I'll come back later when I've got stuff sorted out. And I suppose it's worth noting that the gravel that's at the bottom of this water here is labeled muddy gravel. But the wiki does say that you cannot do it in muddy gravel. It has to be sand or gravel. You know, I will say this is rather relaxing. This feels like one of those games where you're power washing the sidewalk or sorting shapes or something that's just really chill and soothing. Because, yeah, it is rather relaxing. Alright, well, at the end of those 16 blocks, we've still got a decent amount of daylight left. I have 15 bits of copper. And so it was about 1 bit of copper per gravel block. I also have some quartz, I have some blue clay, I have a copper arrowhead. I don't even have an arrow, or a bow, but that's pretty good. That's a rare find, I think. About 20 bits of flint, here's 3 more pieces of quartz, and about 20 regular rocks. And I think that is all. No, I got a nugget of sphalerite. Huh. It looks like this can be turned into zinc later on, which I'm sure I'm going to need, but it doesn't help me out right now. But, yeah, the day's moving fast, and I've got to prepare for night. I think I might try to dig up a bunch more dirt and gravel and build out over this water so that I can continue to pan all night. But the bottom line is that it is working. It's just also really slow. So, I guess I'll keep on going till we get our 40 pieces. All right, well, that's done. So while I'm doing this, let me talk a little bit about this process. Yeah, it's slow, and a little bit boring, but also at the same time relaxing. But from a game mechanic point of view, I like the fact that it's there. Because if I were to have to find the bits of copper that I needed simply by finding them on the ground with no other alternative, I don't know that I would keep playing. It was pretty frustrating to wander around and not find any of those things. I guess it would have to be a lot more available in order for the game to actually be playable, but this is a backup. Yes, it's slow, but it's also somewhat guaranteed. I mean, you go through enough gravel and you'll eventually get the bits that you're after, and it's nice that this is available. I would have preferred to have collected everything a little bit more quickly and not had to go through this process, but I am glad that the process is here. You know what I mean? Because like I said, yeah, I don't know that I would have really been happy just wandering around aimlessly without any direction, trying to find random bits of copper on the ground. It's been extremely rare for me. I've only found those 3 bits, period. And, you know, you can see right now I've got 15 bits in my inventory. So, anyway, that's just my overall thought on this part of the game. Finally got it. I finally got the 23rd bit of copper to go with the 17 bits of copper that I've got in this chest. Gives us a nice solid 40 copper, which is what I need in order to make the 2 tools. Well, that was a lot of work. I'm going to do a little bit more panning with the gravel that I've got, but then it's going to be time to break camp and head home so we can move on to the next step. In terms of resources, this panning was a little bit more successful. I got 3 copper arrowheads and a copper spearhead. I should be able to use this right now to make a copper spear. Yeah, and the damage of this is 2.8 as opposed to my spear here, which is 2. So this is going to do just a little bit more damage, and hopefully it has a higher durability, 140 versus 32. Yeah, that's a lot higher durability. I did get some of these flint spearheads, and I think the knife blade is also from it. Additionally, I got more quartz. I got some lapis lazuli. I got some more blue clay. Oh yeah, I got this armlet thing. I got this bronze armlet, which I figured out goes right here. And what does it do? I have no idea. I think it's just purely decorative, but I'll take it. It's a nice find. So yay, it's a success. And yes, I'm loaded up with resources. There's more I would like to get here, but I really don't have any more room. So we're just going to have to go home. And then maybe I can make a trip back. Ah, home sweet home. It doesn't really look like my berries have flowered. How about my garden? It's looking better. Not quite grown up yet either. All right, well, it is nice to be home. Let's unload and move on in again. Oh, I'm going to have to start my fire again. All the fire's gone out. Oh, it feels good to be home. So I'm ready for the next step. What is that step? Oh, you thought we'd be smelting up that copper right away? No, sadly. Sadly not. There's another step, and that is making of charcoal. See, when we look at the firewood, it says the burn temperature is 700 degrees. And when we look at the copper, it says we need 1084 in order to smelt it. So, wood alone is not going to do it. We have to make that wood into charcoal. And that means chopping a whole lot of logs, because I don't think I have enough right now. Well, let me check. I've got 16 logs there, and Yeah, I do. I actually have a lot of logs. Okay, well, let's get started on that process right now. And you know what? I'm just going to use up all 48 of the logs that I have. And the first part of that process is digging a big hole, which, you know, this is a pretty flat area. Let's dig this hole right here. Because basically we have to bury a whole bunch of wood, light it on fire, and then seal it up so that it is oxygen starved. And that process is what turns into charcoal. So if we got to do a whole bunch, we might as well just do as much as we possibly can, right? So again, you got to take the axe and turn your logs into firewood like this. And then we got to stack it up just as much as we can. And you can put 32 in a block. So once I fill this hole up with firewood like this, then we make a campfire and put it on top. And come back in several hours, and we'll see how much charcoal we get. Now it seems like a stack of logs like this is going to yield about 5 pieces of charcoal. At least 5 to 7 is what I'm understanding. And so that's not a very good conversion rate. But that's the process. That's what we've got to do. So let's get to it. All right, that is literally all of the logs that I have. So we're going to fill all this in except for this one opening right here. Put down that and make a campfire. Light it and then quickly cover it. You have only 30 seconds. Why is that not lighting it? Oh, it is lit. 29 in-game minutes before it going. So I look at it. 17 in-game minutes before the pile ignites. So it is lit, and that's how much time I have to cover it up. So there we go. Now we just got to come back a little later. A long later, actually. But that'll give me time to kind of catch up around the homestead here. You know, go and do some of the harvesting maybe that's around. Did I do it? It's a boar. I think that's pretty dangerous. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try. He hurts. He hurts. He hurts. I'm going to die probably. No, I got it. Oh, that is a big score. He half killed me, but it was worth it. It was worth it. We got a lot of meat from that. A couple medium pelts and some fat. Awesome. Awesome. I still don't know what I can do with the pelts. Oh, and a lot of bones. I still don't know that I can do anything with the pelts. Woo. But I'm glad I took that opportunity. Took the chance anyway, you know? Now there is one more thing that I need, and that is a pair of tongs. Just a pair of pieces of wood tied together with a rope. So I had to make some rope. That was pretty easy. But basically, once we smelt this copper down, it's going to be blistering hot. And I'm not going to be able to pick it up without these tongs. But that's still a long way off. So I'm just going to put it over here with the rest of my minerals, waiting for that time to happen. Well, it's been a full day. I think it is all done. Let me look. Yeah. That looks like charcoal down there. I don't honestly know what kind of tool is best for digging up charcoal. I guess it's a shovel. Oh, I got to dig it down layer by layer by layer. But that's all right. So all told, 41 pieces of charcoal. And look at the burn temperature, 1300 degrees. That is enough to get us up to what we need for copper. Yay! So it looks like that is on the agenda for tonight because, well, it's sundown and it's time about to go to bed. And so finally, it's time to start smelting some copper. Well, I'm getting the fire warm by burning some logs first and making some food. But then we'll switch to the charcoal and put the copper into the crucible. So now it's time to put the crucible onto the fire, and we're going to throw our copper nuggets in there, and I'm going to switch out into coal. But we're already over 700 degrees. Shouldn't be long before it starts melting now. Oh, look at the copper itself. It's changing color as it gets warmer. That is a really cool small detail. I like it a lot. And now after all of the buildup, after all of the preparation, we are finally smelting some copper. Yay! And so in the end, I used only 3 pieces of charcoal because I got it started ahead of time. Now, because I have the tongs in my offhand, I can just grab the cauldron out. And you see it's using the tongs as I'm carrying the cauldron around. But we should just be able to right-click and pour it into the mold. I should have enough for both molds. Yes. If we look at the crucible, oh, it still says there's 82 units of copper. Did I not? Oh, I didn't do it all the way, apparently. Now, we got 4 units of copper still. So I guess I got a little bit more to put in here. Because I had 1 extra unit of copper. Right, I had a copper nugget here, and I brought some back with me. So that 4 units of copper is left over within the crucible. Next time I smelt up some copper, it'll just get used up again. But for now, it's very, very hot, and I need to put this down. Well, I don't need to as long as I'm using the tongs, but I might as well. And of course, it's still very hot. I can't touch it without the tongs for some time. Now, the molds are poured, and they're still also very hot. It really doesn't tell you how hot it is by looking at it with the pop-up, but these will get darker in color as it continues to cool down. And once it is cool, then they can be removed from the mold. And we got company again tonight. Well, it's been a little while since we've had company, so I guess I can't complain too much. Would you shut up? I'm trying to do some work in here. Goodness. Well, while we're waiting for those to cool, I guess I'm just going to sleep the night away so that I don't have to listen to the grunting of the unruly neighbors. Good night, and see you in the morning. Interesting. Even though I had torches on the outside of the house, the drifters still came by and bugged me last night. So I guess it's not purely light-based. Apparently, there's some other factor. Ooh, the garden's looking good. But what we are here for is the molds, and, well, they're still cooling. So I guess it's time to do a little bit of something else. Oh, I guess here's an idea. I saw somebody that make a door, and I'm like, what? I didn't know you could make a door. So let me see if I can figure out what we need to do to get that done, because a door would be really nice to have. So let's see, axe, sticks, and a couple logs. Nice. So axe, logs, and a few sticks. Yeah, okay, a crude door. I wonder how strong this is. Well, I guess it'll be nice to have the door anyway. At least I don't have to wall myself in. I'm going to have to look and see what else we can make, because, yeah, I'm getting a little tired of our dirt hovel here. Oh, I thought it was still warm because it's slightly red, but nope, it's just copper. That's why it's red. So just right-click the mold, and it takes the thing out. Oh, so nice. We're finally there. We're finally in the Copper Age. Yes, we have a real pickaxe and a real hammer. Okay, buddy. We're ready for the next stage of the game, aren't we? This is looking awesome. Yeah, way to go. So what's next? Well, what's next is mining, because we need more copper. But that's all going to happen in the next episode, because it's time to wrap this one up. So thank you, everybody, for taking a look at this series and seeing what it's like and helping me to explore it. I really appreciate the comments and the people that are being so encouraging of trying something new. Oh, I don't like that at all. Oh my, what? What is that? Oh my, ah! There's a drifter out there. Oh my, I'm not happy about that. It's my first temporal storm. Things are shifting in bad ways. There's a drifter right there. Oh, he's right there at my door. I wish I could get away from this, and I don't really know how. I guess I'm just going to hide inside. I don't know what a temporal storm is. I don't know what it does. I see my wheel spinning down there. If I go to the talk screen, it says a light temporal storm is approaching. Well, I guess we got to figure out how to survive this storm. It's a temporal storm. Oh, all right. I'll do that in between episodes. We'll wrap it up. Good night. Goodbye. Remember, be excellent to each other.